Alright guys, so we were about to have a very interesting afternoon. So as you saw in that last video, I blew up my output shaft on my transfer case. And so I just took an exam and I'm about to run up to my buddy's house. Pulling off the trailer, I also messed up a tire, so I have to change a tire. And I bent the tie rod, and so I've got a new tie rod that's out of a Curry, I don't know, something kit, 1-ton kit basically. And so I'll have better steering this time around, and then I'm gonna have one kind of limpy tire that I got for, through some trading, I actually made $50 by buying this tire. So I got paid to put this tire on, but yeah, so we're gonna have to completely disassemble that transfer case, figure out exactly what is wrong with it, and hopefully be able to replace it with the old transfer case that I just pulled out because I cracked the housing. And so I'm interested to see, but it is about to be a long day. I'm running on like 45 minutes to an hour of sleep from studying for that exam. And I sound awful, I feel terrible, and we may absolutely ruin this Jeep. It's fine, we'll get it done, it's whatever. Alright, so we are up under the Jeep, trying to kind of diagnose it. This feels like it torqued on there, like I can't get drive shaft to move off of it, like I'm shaking it off, so I'm gonna have to get something tied onto that and like jerk it. But it's also, this is all ATF fluid. It has absolutely dumped it, but I think that the plan is to disassemble the case, and yeah, it's leaking at that seal right there, so hopefully that fixes itself once this is, I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of up and down play. Where's that noise coming from? Sounds like there's a noise coming from like right in here, so I'm hoping that's where the problem is. But right now the plan is to just take the bolts out of the transfer case while it's still hooked up to the transmission, and then just basically replace the back half of the transfer case. Just do the whole thing at once. So I feel like if there's any other issues, we can kind of tell when we pull it apart, and should be fine. I think it'll be good to go after that. All right, got the drive shaft off. Just basically tied a ratchet to the back of it and jerked on it till it came off. Came out pretty easy though, but all the splines look good. So we're gonna, is it missing? It's missing one single spline right there. Interesting. All right, and yeah, that one's fine. Yeah, it's just missing one entire set of splines, it looks like, right at the top right there. That's weird. All right, we have all the bolts out now. I do have the whole output shaft loose because I thought I was gonna just remove that originally and leave the whole rest of the case on, but because of how the other one's set up, we're gonna have to do it this way. But I'm gonna stick a screwdriver in the corner and see if I can't separate it. We're gonna try this. Golly. This is tight on there. I'm gonna use this. Just see, like, all bolts, nothing hidden. All bolts are out. And like the tucked up ones up there, just not. just not wanting hard. Like, I'm putting a significant amount of force, I think, into that. It's just not separating. Let's see if I can't use that little gap that I've now made to get this in there, maybe. Maybe we'll just have to kind of grow it. I'm gonna have to set this down so I can try to do this. All right, here's what's gonna work. I hammered that all the way in, and then I'm gonna flip the camera back on me and show you how I'm gonna make this work. Somewhere. Okay. So, I can't see for anything, but alright, there we go. It's now separating. Alright. Got the first half of it. See that. Now I have it cracked open. Then we're gonna have to split the other side and doing the same thing. I'm just gonna try to pull it off of here now. See if I can't. I don't know if we can or not, but oh, you're kidding me. And is it still? Seal's broken. Why is it? How is it holding on still? Is it just the weight? The end of it? There we go. Alright, so we just pulled that last bit of silicone apart. It should just slide straight out for me. Okay. Yeah, I broke that whole output shaft clean off. Look at that. Why did that break? Why that? Why that of all things? Ugh. It's also some nasty stuff that was down in there. But yeah. So literally broke that output shaft as soon as it came to the actual shaft part of it. I've got rust. Look at that, there's rust on that gear. Interesting. But yeah, so we're gonna swap all this out for the old one. Alright, so here's the old gear set, and this is what I'm gonna use as an example for where I was struggling. For one, don't pull this off. No reason to. I was stupid and tried to better seal the inner piece. I can't even think of the name right now. I'm so tired. I've worked on this for so long. We ended up working on it for over 9 hours last night, and I'm an hour in today. So overall, this took way longer than it should have. But so this was cracked, and then the actual other outer piece was cracked. I guess I did have to take that off. I had to take this off because the back part of the housing, this entire housing was broken. So I had to swap the whole internals to the, it's an ordeal. Anyway, so when I'm out there under the Jeep sliding the back half of the transfer case back in, it was getting caught right like this, and I could not push it. I didn't hit it with a hammer. I was about there, but I didn't. But up until here is super easy, and then you just literally just shake the case all around, and it falls in like that, and that's where it sits. And then you're able to push it against the back housing. But yeah, we have had to completely disassemble the back half of this transfer case no less than 6 times to get everything right and where everything would spin. Make sure that you have so when you see this part, there's a shim in the bottom, and then there are probably 50 to 75 little pins, and that makes up the bearing. Then there's another shim on the top, and that makes it where it's not pinching to the gears. If you pinch the gears, these won't roll. These are supposed to move just like that. But if you do it incorrectly, then they won't spin. So you see how easily that spins. If you do it incorrectly, they won't spin at all. With this piece goes like here. You do the part with fewer teeth down. Anyway, whole ordeal. We literally have 30 minutes until I have to be loaded on the trailer. And it's still not looking fantastic. We still obviously don't have that front tire replaced. It's in the bed of the truck. About to snug up the transfer case. You can see it is actually sealed now, which is absolutely amazing. Then I have to put the cross member back up. Right now it's just held on by that one bolt. So have to get the jack into that, put it back up, make sure everything lines up, put the old drive shafts back on, and then throw this tire on. You see my steering is super freaking bent. I do have a spare drag link, and that's what's bent on this, by the way. The top part is the drag length, then that bottom is the actual tie rod. Tie rod's surprisingly fine, but drag length, you can see, has a huge bow in it. So what I'm gonna do right now is just take a hammer, flatten it, and then whenever we get to the park, my buddy picked me up a set of Curry steering, and so we're gonna swap that on, and that'll be a trail side fix. So we're just gonna hope everything works out, because if it doesn't, then kind of screwed. I guess I do have the spare ZJ one in my truck, but it's such a pain. But yeah, so I'm gonna real quick just finish this up and get on the road, because I know y'all would much rather see Jeeping content than just me fixing stuff. So let's get on it. I know this looks bad, but I promise she's gonna make it this weekend. Oh, it looks so bad. I literally don't, this is such a pain. I just want y'all to know, but it's all snugged up. I'm gonna go back here in probably 35 minutes, maybe an hour, tighten it the rest of the way down, fill it with fluid. I may back it on the trailer without fluid in the T-case. I'm hoping I'm gonna back the trailer up to it and just literally just roll it up. That way the gears don't get too hot, but I don't want to put fluid in it until the silicone dries. And so I don't know what do I do there? Because I literally leave in 30 minutes from now, and I still don't have drive shafts, and I still don't have a tire. But the T-case is on. That was the biggest pain I've ever. I hate transfer cases. But I tell you what, if you pay me a absolute ton of money, I will work on your transfer case, and I'll do a really good job, because I've literally done it like 6 times now with this thing. I went from having barely knew what a transfer case was to knowing how each individual part works and where everything goes within a matter of 6 months. I guess it's a long time to learn, but that's how long I've had this thing, and I've been through 3. Have I been through 3? Yeah. I had the original that had a broken tail shaft, broken back half of the case, and that one was a 249. That one, when I got it, was broken because they had wrong length drive shafts. And then I fixed the rear drive shaft because that's where it slammed into the tail. Tail was the word I was thinking of earlier that I couldn't process. Then I had a 242, and I had a bad front drive shaft. I actually still have that. Since it was a CV, it literally just overextended itself, and a lot of that drive shaft is actually now on the Jimmy. But here was that drive shaft. Still, that's what was blowing up, but he used the whole assembly down here on the Jimmy, so that's actually kind of cool. But I played a small part of it. Here's the double cardan that was on it, and so blew up that drive shaft, smacked into the 242, broke it, cracked. I knew I cracked the front of the housing. Apparently, I cracked front and rear. I'll show you that. But then I actually blew up the transfer case, and here's that half of that output shaft. The other side was what I was using over there to show y'all how to slide it in. But so that is trashed. Literally spun it off and bent all of these splines. So I'm really hoping that rear drive shaft goes on. I have no idea if it bent splines in the drive shaft as well, or if it was just on these, but these are not straight. You can see if you look really close, those don't go straight back. There's a curve right there, and that's where the drive shaft went up to. So yeah, really cool. Then this is broken. Where was it? Right here. You can see that crack. Doesn't look bad until you look at it out here and you realize that it goes from that corner right there. You can kind of see the hairline right there. And it goes all the way down to here. See that? So that's trashed now. And so I've literally broken every single part of a drive shaft except for the chain, which is supposed to be the weak link of it. But I now have a spare chain, and these are all going to be just replacement parts. It's the other side of that shaft. You can see how it spun it off, twisted all those splines up. Those actually, I think those splines are normally twisted because that's where the speed sensor normally rides. But now have full internals except for a spare output shaft, and I've got every other part of that output shaft that I can have as a spare. And yeah, I hate these things, but we are gonna make it. Jimmy's actually not going on this trip. We're gonna have a Jeeps only trip for once. It'll be exciting to see. I've been out once with the ZJ and the TJ together, but it'll be exciting to see how it compares now that I'm fully welded and a little bit more confident in my driving ability. So I'm excited. It's gonna be a good weekend. Everybody doubted me, but here she goes. Absolutely digging in with that front drive line being welded. It hates it. I did bring some extra power steering fluid this time because I was completely out, and so I'm assuming that I actually can't see. He's gonna try to lead me up, but yep. All right, so next thing on the list is either a new trailer or new springs, because pulled up on it, I saw this tire jerk forward. I'm like, yep. Broke the spring in another spot. We did weld. This spring's been welded a couple times. You can see, I'm gonna try to throw you under here. Blah. So
just for the record, it did not break where I had welded.
Yeah, your weld held.
Yeah.
So it's been welded a few times. So that spring's just gonna have to be replaced. But it's all right.
Yeah.
We got it ratchet strapped, so it's at least not gonna be back and forth like it used to be. Can't be worse than last time because it was broken last time. So
looking at the rust that was on the grains where it cracked, it was
I knew it had been broken. That's because when I was telling you on the way up here, I'm like, I swear the thing's moving forward and back. Yeah. I've never seen a spring break, so I didn't even know to look at it. Sounds good. All right, we were a little over half an hour behind where we wanted to be, but she is loaded. I also did hit a tree. That's what when I broke that output shaft, I thought I'd hit a tree, and that's what the sound was, but I did hit it. So we have our little trail damage there, and then our medium trail damage here, and then all that. I didn't have time to cut it, but it'll be fine. If it slices the tire, it slices the tire. It's fine. It'll send. It'll go. But just gonna put put the hood down, make sure I didn't drop anything in here. I think we were good. Let's roll. All right, we're in the last few miles, averaging 11.6 miles per gallon. We started driving at 3, so we're right at 5 hours. I think we have like 3 miles left. This is just a straight hill. Tundy's not happy, but it's all right. I have looked for a Dana 60 almost the entire way up here. I might have one potential option if I can figure out exactly what it came out of, and then whether or not it has a high pinion or a low pinion. But we have a few options on the table that I might try to pick up on the way home, but that'll be a story for another video. But I'm really excited to try this out. This place is called Flat Nasty. None of us have ever been there. The options were, we were gonna go to S'more, but they were having a private event, I believe for Veterans Day, and then Hot Springs or this place, because we're meeting up with a friend from Batesville, Arkansas, and this was the most even ground. This and Hot Springs were both kind of equidistant from each of us. So we decided on this one because we've heard a few things about it and it sounded like a really good park, and the owners seemed to be very, very friendly, and entrance was, I believe, a little bit cheaper than Hot Springs as well. So I'm really excited to see what this place holds for us, because it is, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit out in the middle of nowhere, but it'll be really good to see kind of what different parts of Missouri have to offer, because ZJ has not yet been out to Missouri at all. It has only been to Disney twice, but as soon as we get here, I feel like we'll be there around 8:30. The other guy's about on the same track as us. He said he's about 15-20 minutes away. But so as soon as we get there, I'm going to be what's the word? I'm going to be steering swapping the ZJ, which is going to be so fun because it is currently 34 and it's going to get down to 23 tonight, and it's going to snow. We have an 80% chance of at least 1 inch of snow. So really, I think it'll be really cool for pictures and stuff. I did bring, look, I accidentally, you can't see it. I did actually accidentally bring my actual like photo camera for events and stuff. So at the very least, we'll end up with some really cool pictures from this weekend. Look at this. This is their sign-in office for Halloween. That's awesome. All right, just signed in, headed into the park. Look at his rig right here. He's got it looks almost like an old ambulance, but it's a van that he's converting into a sleeper. So that is gonna be awesome to see what the final result of that's gonna be. But gonna be a good group. We've got another guy showing up tomorrow, I believe, from Jonesboro. And then gonna kind of piddle around tonight, get my stuff fixed. Then in the morning, hopefully hit a couple of the little bit more difficult trails. So looking forward to it. It's gonna be a great weekend. All right, almost got this done. Show you a little bit more. Surprised how easy these nuts came loose, especially with this Jeep being a little bit older, but not complaining about that.
Ready to brave the cold, but I think I'm starting. That's just extra insulation. It's white. I got two, but
it's gotten down to 32 now. So
you get the pit, are you listening?
I'm on the last one, yeah. Shoulder hurts from doing this.
Hey, do we have?
All right, it's 10:30. We've been here about a little over an hour. That is the new steering. I'm gonna have to zip tie the old steering stabilizer up because I couldn't actually get it on, but look at the difference in size. I don't know if that really picks up on camera very well. Let me see. Ooh, so much closer. All right, look at the size difference. That is that versus that. So there's an extra, probably 1/4 inch of thickness. So should hold up to the abuse of 35s at the very least, but I'm excited. Just got to zip tie that up and back so it's not hitting at full lock, and we'll be ready to go. So something interesting I'm learning, when it turns, it is completely flexed out. When you back up and turn, like look at the space there versus that. I don't know why it does that. That's interesting. Also, that front driver axle is popping a lot. I do have a spare in the back seat, so if we do break out here, at least we got something. But you can see it's cold. All right, here's our first little obstacle. He just locked in. Because I don't know if I can stop. I'd much rather hit a tree than him. Oh, just about took out my door. It's fine. That's probably a 3-foot drop on the other side of this. We're just gonna ease on through. Yep. Oh, there we go. Easy money. I am all the way on the brake and still rolling. Oh, that ain't too bad. ZJ eats that up. Oh man, my shoulder's gonna be tired from holding this phone. I'm gonna have to figure out a mount of some kind for the GoPro. It's snowing. You can see the little flakes dropping. Oh, that's insane. I may be going off this. That's fine.
It's either snowing or something's on fire.
Oh. Oh, that was headlight. Cool. Oh, I thought I could make it. And I could. And I can't turn. Oh, I can't see back either.
Hey, I think that's a tree.
I can't turn or stop, so. Oh. Oh, I can't.
I looked back expecting to see your transfer case in half, but you were in the side of a tree.
I am turning this with everything I have. There we go. There we go. Oof. It is snowing though, that's pretty. Alright, we're at another obstacle. It's absolutely coming down now. Look at that. That's awesome.
Stock radiators are made of plastic and they're known for cracking. I don't know if it's the cap. Is the cap? Oh, the cap came off. Yeah, the cap came off. That's all it is.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, it can dry though.
Did it just overheat and it popped off, or?
It must have just been loose. That's weird because right before this trip, I checked the radiator to check the coolant level, so I wonder if I just didn't tighten it all the way.
Yeah, it's not boiling. It's not making the boiling sound mine does.
Well, it wasn't. It was running a little hot, but it wasn't like overheating. So
the snow's sticking.
I sent you a picture of what happens if you do mix it and it's not supposed to mix. Remember with the van? It was just like gum.
But I saw a couple drops, but then it stopped. Yeah. It might be a bad cap.
We'll see if it doesn't come up.
Do you have a rag or wait? I have a rag.
Yeah.
I think it's okay.
I think it did it again.
That should be the hottest part of it. Hot in the top, cool out the bottom. Only gone down like 1/4 of an inch.
Oh, but still wet.
Yeah. Well, that's right where it would have been spraying out from. I mean, the front of it's still wet. Well, no. The front of it's drying.
the whole thing
Part of
though.
it's dry in here.
I wouldn't think that.
Well, the hot comes in from here off the motor. So
Yeah.
this side is going to dry out first. Is my thought. We just start it up and see what happens.
Yeah, it's wet all the way up this too. I don't see any break between the fins or anything. It's dripping around the cap. It's dripping around the cap. Yeah.
It is. Not bad though. Alright, it's like already stopped speeding. Coming out more?
No.
Ready?
Yeah, knee straight or it doesn't. Howdy folks here. Howdy folks here. Howdy. Yeah, there you go. Oh, I felt that one.
Click.
This is so pretty, just getting to wheel through the snow. It's just such a cool experience. Not a lot of people get to do, I don't feel like. It's not like we're up in Colorado or anything. We're just out in Missouri on a cold and snowy day. But yeah, it's just so pretty. less touchy throttle, because it is a lot of those where it sounded like I was just mashing on it. That was me hitting a bump and just bouncing. But it did pretty well on that hill climb, I'd say. Alright, we're gonna reline him up. Yeah, plenty of room back here. Okay.
Keep going. Straight. Keep real straight.
Alright.
Right there. Try just rolling through it. Not like full throttle.
Yeah, but just...
It popped your other front up, and now this one's on the sledge too. I think... Shoot, I don't know. I think the only way you're going to make it is that point right here.
Yep.
You got to get your rear wheel right on this point instead of...
All right. I smacked another tree.
What?
I smacked another tree.
Damn it.
It is absolutely dumping snow now. Look at that. That is just beautiful. But she made it up. No real body damage. Scraped a rock right here, but not bad. Not bad at all. I'm impressed with the old girl. And like clearly like I have two numerically lower, physically higher gears, but I mean it does what it needs to do at the end of the day. So I mean like technically I need a regear, but I mean a lot more of that is just controlling throttle. A new front axle would be kind of cool, just so I could have like a not welded front end, and like, but I don't know. Got to figure out what I actually want. Man, it's sticking thick right there. Look at that. Yeah, like I'm not gonna make this turn, am I? Oh, we're barely gonna make that. That's crazy. I've gained a lot of confidence in this rig, I will say that. Oh, I'm locked in at first. Oh. Some windshield wiper blades would be cool. So glad I have a V8. That sounds so good. To me, it's a very clapped out sound, I'm sure to y'all, but I love it. I'm enjoying this rig more and more the more I actually get to take it out and beat on it a little bit. But I wish I'd gotten into this a lot sooner, but also there's no way I could have. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this rig though. I like it. Alright, getting the final touches to the campsite setup. We were not expecting this. I think it's fair to say. This is crazy. I'm gonna go help them again.